years ago, before I had healed my codependency, I would be in a relationship and out of nowhere, a crazy thought would just enter my head about what this person might be doing. They didn't do anything. They didn't say anything to even give me an inkling that was what was going on. But I would create a whole scenario in my head about what was going on. And if I didn't clear it, if I didn't catch it, guess what? It would happen. It would actually happen. And that's how I was like, I'm that powerful that I can create a whole scenario out of nothing. So why would I attack that person if they did something that I created in my head? I created something from nothing. Why would I then attack them for simply playing the role of the movie that I just made? So when people have that unhealed part of themselves and they don't even realize that that's what they do, and they're constantly being met with betrayal, or they feel like they're being betrayed because they're creating it, because they expect it to happen, and then their imagination is so good and so powerful that they start creating these things, and then on some level it plays out for them.
Right.
So now you are attacking people because what you created is now being played out. You created it. They did not come to do that to you. They came around and you created the situation. Now it's playing out, and now you're attacking them. So this is why it's not justified. That's why it's not justified. And people don't think that deeply into it. They don't go that far into the mental that way. And that's why I tell people, study the mind, study creation, study your subconscious mind, study human behavior, study psychology, because, and this is what the stuff that she does. This is why she's not justified in anything that she has done, which is why it's going to come back on her.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to say as well, that was my experience. And that was one of the things that I diligently and fervently worked on healing from. I used to concoct and create these confrontational exchanges mentally with friends of mine. And that's why, a lot of my older friends were no longer friends, because for whatever reason, well, I know the reason. Once I started healing, I figured out where it came from, where that paradigm came from. But again, a thought would creep into my mind. I would start thinking all of these things. I literally would create a whole movie and a whole scenario. This person hasn't said or did anything to me, and then eventually it manifests. Right? Exactly how you created this whole show in your mind mentally. But once I got to the root of it, I realized where it stemmed from, because growing up, I used to get bullied and picked on at school. So I didn't realize how much it affected me. It kind of just followed me into my adult years. And once I identified that, I did a lot of work to heal myself from it. And then that's when I realized, like, wow, our minds are so powerful.
Yes, it
our
is.
Thoughts are so powerful. Yeah.
Yep. It's so powerful. And I mean, I hope that what we're talking about right now will help people out there who are listening. And by the way, guys, if you are on the live, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, please. Thank you very much. And thank you all for listening in. Please feel free to share this with people who you think may find this helpful, because we just don't think that deeply enough about how much of a role we play in our own experiences, unfortunately. And if we did stop to think like, okay, I'm feeling this way about this person, but why? Why am I feeling this way? And what is being triggered right now in me, especially if that person didn't do anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do anything yet, right? Or whatever. So why am I doing this? And I feel like if we took more time out to sit and ask ourselves those questions, we could talk ourselves off so many ledges, and we could save ourselves from so many conflicts. And, you know, my hope is that anybody that has done that in the past or does that now, that if you are listening to this, that you will stop and ask yourself those questions, because 98% of the time, whatever it is, it's just not worth a response. The other day, I was ruminating about something that happened with a friend of mine. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to say this and this and this, and I'm going to tell them da, 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 da. And I kept, I think I sat with this for like a couple of hours in my head, having a conversation and everything. All of a sudden, you know, I think it was one of my ancestors must have just got tired of me, because all of a sudden I heard was, you're not going to say anything. You're going to keep your mouth shut. And you're going to let this go, because that's not real. And you have just created something that is not real, and it's not worth your time, and it's not worth you creating an energy, inserting an energy in this particular relationship.
Yeah.
And causing something that does not need to be stirred up. Like it does, it has nothing, there's nothing there. I'm telling you, it's nothing there.
Right.
So you can let this go. And it was so easy after that to just let it go. And now it's like it never even happened. It's like the thought never crossed my mind. The energy that I was feeling around it, the little attitude I had around it, completely dissipated as soon as I heard that voice say, that's not real. You're not going to say anything, because if you do, you are getting ready to shift the course of your life by doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like something huge, but it's just like, it's so profound on how many things we have called out of our lives, right? Whether it's relationships, whether it's opportunities, whether it's a move we're about to make. Maybe you talked yourself out of the move because of the rumination that is basically rooted in a past pain or a past trauma, and it's just your mind trying to protect you and hurry up and get ahead of it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm so grateful that voice came in and shut me down. I mean, it shut me down. And usually my spirit team don't talk a whole lot. They may say one or two words, but this voice was like, absolutely not. You're not going to say a word. You're going to be quiet. We've listened to you long enough. Stop it. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, okay, okay, I'm not going to say that. You know, so, you know, and I'm grateful for that, because I've asked for that kind of correction. You know, I've asked for that kind of correction, and I have given authority and permission to that energy, whether it's me saying it to me or whether it's an ancestor or something, what else, you know, something outside of me. I've given permission to that energy to say, please correct me when I'm getting ready to sabotage something, disrupt something, or shake some things up, because I have done that before in my life. And I just don't have time for that no more. Please correct me. Shut me down, tell me to be quiet so I can just move on, because we can do that. We can keep ourselves in that loop of insanity.
And as you were explaining that, I just kept hearing, you know, going back to when we shared some of the positive outcome that we've experienced from being in that whole battle. Again, maturity, responsibility, and accountability. Just a simple fact that you know you, right? And you know how you can be so in your head, and you can talk yourself out of a good thing, right? So you give permission to be corrected. Right. So to not just be corrected, but to recognize as well when you're creating a situation that is not real. It's all in your head. Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And I feel like that, that's the type of leader I want to be, and the type of, if I should ever have a mentor again, the type of mentor that I would want to have. Someone who has taken the steps to course correct, and
Hmm.
who will sit with something for a minute before they take action and give and have a reaction to something. That is the type of those are the type of people I want to be around. That's the type of person I want to be. And if I were to pay a coach or a mentor, though, that is the type of temperament that I would want that person to have. And I think this is another little tip for anyone that is looking for a mentor or a coach or anything like that. Write down what you want in a mentor. Write down what you want in a coach. How do you want to feel when you're with that particular person? How do you want to be around that person? Do you want to feel small? Do you want to feel like you're on equal ground with them? Do you feel like you want to have a close relationship with them? Do you feel like you want the relationship to be, a long lasting one that will last until either you or that person passes on? Like, really dig deep and write those things down, because you're manifesting, right?
Hmm.
And because I had never had the kind of experience that I had with any of my mentors. I've had a lot of coaches and a lot of mentors. I have invested heavily in my development, my personal and spiritual development over the years.
Right.
And I had never had that happen. So that wasn't even top of mind for me to sit with, because I'm just so used to being with people who are just genuinely there to help, and that's it. They don't want nothing from you. They not sitting back watching you like a hawk and seeing how you gonna move and what you say. They don't give a shit. They just like, whatever.
Right.
Even if you say something a little bit off to piss them off, not harping on that. They like, she'll figure it out or whatever. Um, so that wasn't at top of mind for me to be that specific about the type of mentor that I wanted when it came to being in magic and things like that, and being in a spiritual community like this. But that would be, if I had any kind of advice to give, that would be one.
Well, that's good advice. That's good
Yep.
advice. So, what can we learn? So, let's talk a little bit about, um, well, outside of what you just shared, because you just shared some tips, right? But outside of that, what else can we learn from this whole Emeryn situation? This breakdown of Emeryn
Mm-hmm.
as a leader, as a mentor, her unprofessionalism, some of the tactics and the strategies that she uses, just how she has positioned herself as a thought leader in the spiritual space. What are some things that we can learn from this?
I mean, there's so many things.
Yeah.
I think the main thing that we can learn from this is that, I know for me personally, that if something is meant to happen for me, it's going to happen regardless.
Hmm.
Um, so I feel like everything that took place was supposed to take place for me. Um, and also pay attention to how people talk to other people. Because there were signs, there were plenty of signs,
Hmm.
the way she addressed her audience, again, calling them dizzy and dumb and ditzy and, you the dumb bee and da 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 da, things like that. Um, Talking a lot about being violent and being big and bad and, hurting people. Always talking about how she hurt people, right?
Hmm.
And how easy it is to hurt people, even somebody that she loves. How easy it is to hex them, how easy it is to hurt someone, and then saying, but I don't want to see it happen because of my heart, because I got so much love, right?
Right. The gaslighting. Oh my
The
God.
gaslighting, the
Yeah.
gaslighting. So pay extra close attention to the gaslighting, how somebody can easily flip from one side to the next real easily. They can go from stabbing you to, but I love you and I had to do it because, I had to be the hand of God in your life. Or if I hex somebody, I don't really want to see the fallout from it. So if you don't want to see the fallout, if you don't want to witness the fallout, then why would you wish something like that on a person? So pay attention to the gaslighting. That is spell work in itself. And that would be the main thing. Just listen to these people, because social media is so popular now. Everybody's on social media. And everybody has their own station, so to speak. They got their own shows running. So just pay attention to people, how they talk, what, their behavior patterns, and if they're always trying to posture themselves as someone to be afraid of, then you might want to not pay them to mentor you or coach you closely.
Yes. I have a few points that I would like to share from a business leader standpoint, and also awareness, right? Whenever you're listening to or following a business leader. First thing is privacy is paramount. So airing out private information of clients or followers, even indirectly, is not only unethical, but it is illegal. Please remember that. I see it. I have seen it. I haven't seen it recently because, I haven't really been on Facebook like that, because that's one of the main platforms where I used to see it all the time. And it would really bother me, because I'm like, that's what your customer department is for. Even if you don't have a literal customer service department, it's only you and your business. But sometimes you have to, when you're wearing many hats, you are a part of you is the customer service department.
Right.
And you should have something in place to handle any grievances that a customer or client may express. Do not take it to social media. Okay.
That's
because
right.
trust is the cornerstone of any business. Okay. And any type of breach of privacy can have serious legal and reputational consequences. Another thing is having discernment and leadership. So we broke down the sovereign archetype, right? So for those of you that may have a business, or you may be thinking about starting a business, because we are at the very beginning of the new year, and I know a lot of people have goals. If you find yourself building a business that fits into the sovereign archetype, please understand that true sovereigns empower their followers without resorting to intimidation or manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Leadership requires responsibility, professionalism, and honest transparency.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So those are the only things that I really wanted to share when it comes to what can we learn from this Emeryn expose on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So much. Man, we dropped a lot of gems in this one.
We did. This was
We
good.
dropped a lot of gems. I mean, we always be dropping gems, but we really laid it out pretty good tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I hope that, I hope that this is helpful for anyone who listens to it, whether you know who we're talking about or not, whether you know Emeryn or not. This goes for any leader, any person you are considering working with or whatever. Please, please, please just, take heed. And if you need to go back and watch this video and take notes, please do that.